It's virtual CES 2021 at Geekazine.com. Continuing coverage, CES 2021 virtual being me, you, here, us. And I've got here, us, Shamir, and a company called Simon Says. Now, you're called Shamir, but you're not called Simon, right?
Exactly, yeah. Even though I get that mixed up a lot innocently on chat where people are like, hi, Simon. No, Shamir, but Simon's fine too.
Now, tell people your role at Simon Says and a little bit about what Simon Says or is.
Yeah, absolutely. Happy to. So I'm Shamir Alibi, CEO and founder of Simon Says AI, where we're using speech recognition to transcribe and translate audio and video, typically at the beginning of post-production where you have your dailies, your rushes, your interviews that you want to find the meaningful parts of, or at the end of an edit where you want to subtitle and caption that edit for distribution. And last month when we released it, Simon Says Assemble, which is now text-based video editing. So you can find the sound bites in your transcript and then drag and drop and order them to create the foundation of your story. It's collaborative, it's web-based. We've been getting a lot of kudos for it. So we're really excited with where it's headed.
So how Assemble works is, we'll take this video. We're making a video right here. I would put that into Simon Says. It would transcribe it, and then I would see like a storyboard type situation. Is that how that works?
So yeah. So on when you load up Assemble, you've already transcribed your video, and so what you see is in the source monitor, and below is the transcript for the original video that you imported. And then you just go in with, like editing a Microsoft Word doc or Google doc, you just highlight the key sentences or the key words. And the beauty and the kind of technology behind it is what speech recognition is doing is it's matching each word to a time reference point in the video. And so when you highlight the sentence, Simon Says knows the in point and out point for that sentence. And so you highlight that sentence and you highlight it. And then on the timeline side, now you have these subclips, these sentences, and you can just drag and order the sentences around to create the foundation of your story. And a video is dynamically created. Again, Simon Says knows the in and out points for each sentence. So you gave an example of one video, but imagine you had done 10 interviews. And so you want to cut from interviewee A, interviewee B. You can do that. And on the timeline side, the video is dynamically created. So now you're watching in real time this rough cut being formed. And it's easy as editing in Microsoft Word or Google Doc. It's just simply highlighting text, copying and pasting and ordering it around.
So there is some actual video editing that you can do in this.
It's mostly text-based. But yes, the editing would happen because you're dragging and dropping the sound bites into the order in which you desire.
Okay. This will become, that little bit you said right there, will become its own soundbite if we use the software. So, so if I want to do anything like reframing or anything like that, I would then have to move that over to a editing program that would do video reframes.
Exactly. The kind of key thing that we're trying to solve here is, we started with just transcribing. And what users really wanted was not just the transcript, but they wanted to find the sound bites in their transcript. And then they wanted to order the sound bites to create the foundation of their story. And Simon Says really is solving that particular pain point of getting everybody, your entire team, your client on the same page as to what the story is, the foundation, the main sound bites in the correct desired order that create that story. And once you've aligned on that story, and so it's all web-based, you can invite your teammates. They can say, hey, we don't like the sound bite. It's a bit sensitive. Can we find an alternative sound bite? They can look it up themselves. And so what we're getting rid of is this entire feedback loop. There's no, export out a rough cut, get some like notes back, implement those notes, do another export out. It's all happening live like a Google Doc. And so, once the teammate goes and finds the alternative soundbite and everyone's aligned now on that rough cut, now you've solved that like really painful part. And now you can go hit export, and Simon Says Assemble exports out an XML for Adobe Premiere Pro Final Cut Pro, Avid Media Composer, DaVinci Resolve, and now you can go and bring that story to life. You can find your B-roll shots, you can add text and credits, grade and color, and so that's where you would do the polishing is in your NLE.
And what I can also think of is you could sit there and go, okay, I'm doing this part, but somebody could be reading through there and go, oh, wait, no, this should not be in this video. And instead of using that clip, actually completely removing that clip so that it can go from there.
Exactly. Absolutely. Exactly. And so what we're seeing is that there are so many other teammates in the production process who would love to be involved in the story editing. But because video editing applications are typically very technical and there's a technical barrier to entry, what Simon Says Assemble is really lets an assistant or associate producer like quickly skim through the transcript of an interview, find the sound bites that they recall when doing the interview, and already start creating the foundation of your story. And so the video editor now doesn't have to waste time scrubbing through audio, picking out sound bites that they may think of, but really the rest of the team may not align on. The video editor can now go do the most creative part, which is bringing that story to life, picking the shots, figuring out the pacing, the timing, the cadence, adding in music, cutting to that. And so this like tedious, almost monotonous process of like finding sound bites, finding almost, the in and out points of each sound bite and ordering them in a way which, tells a story, that part is now no longer this like technical, complicated process. And every member of the team is empowered to do that because it's so simple. It's as easy as editing in a Google Doc.
Oh, absolutely. Is there any thought about actually setting this up as a plugin for like a Resolve or a Final Cut? So
that's the thing. We've already actually built the extensions and the plugins for all the major NLEs. And it was really at the initial stages where we said, hey, we want to be part of that workflow. So if a user has all their dailies or interviews in Resolve or FCP or in Premiere, they can just drop it into a Simon Says extension. And so it's created a proxy, it uploads it, it transcribes it, it adds markers to those clips. So that already exists. Now what we're doing is we're saying, hey, and that was the kind of challenge that we were solving, is that, those transcript markers were really, really helpful on the clips. Being able to add captions on an edit, really, really helpful. But what users really wanted to do with the transcript was, share that across teams, help teammates who wanted to find sound bites and create the story, everyone to align on the same page. And so Assemble really is the next level of that. But yes, we already have those extensions.
That's awesome. Yeah, because if I had this in all the videos, I could then create a small soundbite and do, just like somebody like Gary V does, Gary Vaynerchuk does for some of his videos. He has his team just take out those little sound bits, puts them up on Facebook, puts them up on Instagram, and all that other good stuff. So amazing.
And oftentimes that's not like a very technical. It becomes technical because of the tools needed. But if you could reduce the technical know-how needed to be able to just like empower anyone to create a clip and be able to share it on Twitter or Facebook, I think that's pretty liberating. And so, that's one of the things that we wanted to solve here was, anyone who wanted to create video should be able to do it as simply as, typing in a Word doc. And I think that's the kind of beauty of this, is that you can just like skim the text, highlight the soundbite, hit export. If you are exporting into your NLE, it's just magical how it just seamlessly recreates and reconnects your original source clips on the timeline to the rough cut that you created in Simon Says Assemble.
Okay. Well, I'm sold. I want to try this. How do we do this? Yeah. What's the pricing? What's all the details on that?
Absolutely. So the website is simonsays.ai. We have pay-as-you-go plans, starter and a pro plan. And the plans include free credit for transcription and translation. In Assemble, it's free to use. We don't have there's no cost to use Simon Says Assemble. Just transcribe and translate your audio video in Simon Says, and you can automatically bring it into Simon Says Assemble and start cutting from it, export, collaborate with your teammates. There's no restrictions there.
Is Assemble in beta? Or is beta in Assemble? Yeah. Is Assemble in beta right now?
No, so Assemble is out and live.
Okay, perfect. And you said simonsays.com?
SimonsAys.ai. SimonsAys.ai. Yeah. If you're using FCP, for example, you can go to the Mac App Store and search Simon Says, and we have an FCP extension on Adobe Exchange, which is Adobe's version of the App Store. You can search Simon Says and download the extension for Adobe Premiere Pro. And for Resolve, also a similar process. With the Mac App Store, the Simon Says Mac app also doubles as a Resolve extension.
Okay, perfect. Well, Simon Says, Shamir, thank you very much. And yes, I did say Shamir. I was debating whether I was going to joke with the Simon versus Shamir thing, but Shamir, thank you very much for your time. You have a great CES.
Thank you. You too.
Thanks a lot for watching this video for the CES Virtual by Geekazine. If you're over on geekazine.com or youtube.com/Geekazine, don't forget to like, subscribe, comment, hit the bell notification so you know when the next video comes out. Until next time, you guys geek out and take care.